G'day legends, today we're going to be installing the KAON transmission cooler for the Prado 150. They've been nice enough to send it to us. It should be here any second.
Here you go.
Oh, and here it is. Let's crack into it. Pretty sure it's meant to have brackets as well. Oh, brackets. Is that it?
Got something.
Oh, and a hose! Oh, I hope that's it. Now in the cooler box we have the cooler itself. Has some instructions, more hose and some hose clamps. That's that one out of the way. Now we got the KAON box. It's been through a lot, alright, don't judge. We've got some instructions, some fancy brackets, nuts and bolts, and that's that. First up we're going to have to mount these. So we've got these ones here. Start putting them together. So the outlets go at the top. We'll get the next one finger tight as well. I've also put Loctite on the threads as well, so that's going to help. Now that that's done, let's go work out how we're going to put it in the car. So what we need is to gain access to just below here. So what we're going to go and do is pop all of these little clips in that hold this piece in. All you do is just press them down and then it will allow you to lift it up, pull them out like that, work your way along, popping them all out. Now that we've got all of them out, should just be able to lift this up out of the way. Now we're going to have to remove these two horns just for now because KAON uses all original mounting points, so there's no drilling or anything into your car. These are a 12mm bolt. Alright, now with these bolts, we'll just leave them up there so we don't lose them. Horns can dangle down there, that's fine. Now that we've got our transcooler and the 6mm bolt that KAON supplies, this 6mm bolt actually goes down into that hole just there. Put that one in first. Yep. Now that that bottom one's done up loosely, we'll grab our horns, make sure they're in front of the radiator. Sit them over the top, and we'll use the same bolts again, straight back in. Grab the other horn. Just nip it up. Now we want to grab the hoses that came in our kit. Might sound backwards, but I found it easier to put the hose clamp over the fitting first, and then to slide the hose on down into it, and then you can simply just lift the hose fitting up a little bit like that and just tighten it up. Now the other side. Now these two bolts,
One bolt.
okay, these two bolts happen to fit nicely in the end of these. We're just going to put them in there before we go sliding these hoses through the mud kitchen. Now I'm going to feed this one first. What we want to do is try and get it to come up here somewhere, so without smashing the radiator while we're at it. Just feed it through gently. Ta-da, did it. That one's done. We're just going to lay it across there. Same thing, just feed it up where it's not in the way. Don't smash the radiator. We've run the pipe that comes from the right side of the cooler, which joins up to just here at the top of the radiator. We're just trying to work out the length so we can cut it. Comes a little bit extra. So we'll probably cut off, what 300mm roughly. Now we just want to go ahead and fill up the cooler and the hoses. The transmission fluid that we have here isn't what's supplied in the kit. There isn't any fluid that comes with it, so you need to go ahead and get some that suits your car. From what I've been told, it's not going to need much. Around 300mm should fill it up, so this bag will easily do it. Take this hose off, should fit nicer. Perfect fit. All right. Now we'll just keep filling this up until we see it come out of the end of that hose, or it leak everywhere, either one. So now that that's coming out the end, we're just going to go ahead and plug it. Now we'll take this end out. Put our little hose clamp up, and then we'll go ahead and tighten that. Once that's on, clean up any mess that you made. Now we're going to run the other side of this cooler down to a joiner that's about halfway down the back of the radiator. And so the first thing I'm going to do is loosen off this hose clamp and try and push this pipe out of the way. Wriggle it off. And then as soon as we get it off, before we go making a mess, we're just going to shove these in both ends. Now we just got to push this pipe down far enough out of the way that we can get access to the joiner that's down behind here. That's the clamp we want to undo there. It's a really fun spot to get to, but you just got to get your long nose pliers and just grab it and hope that you got it. Yep, that's slid up, so now we should just be able to grab this hose, pull it out of there. And then we want to grab the cap that was on the cooler, just this one here. and then just put it over that opening for now. Pull the old hose out. There it is. Now we just want to work out how long we're going to need it. So if I just push that down to there, you just want to look back over it and check that there's no kinks. It's not too tight in sections. No, that's all good. So yeah, we'll just cut it here. Now because we've already filled the lines up with transmission fluid, we're just going to put some rags around it before we go ahead and cut it. Now this is where I wanted to cut it. Put our plug back in there, because what I want to try and do is reuse some of this padding on this elbow here, and it also has a clip, so that'll be handy to hold it all in place. Let's go ahead and slide this sleeve that we took off the old pipe onto the new one, making sure the clamp is at the higher point. Ah, there we go. Stuck out about that much. Yep. Now we're ready to go ahead and join it all up. So we're going to take this bolt out, put the hose clamp on, and then connect it up to this joiner that's down here. Hose is on, clamps all tightened up. I'll admit, it wasn't the easiest of things, but I wasn't a big fan of running a whole separate hose all the way down. There's lots of ways you can do it. There's easier ways, harder ways. This is probably one of the harder ways, but I'm happier with it because everything that's left there is doing its job. I'm going to grab this pipe back up that we pulled off earlier. Make sure you don't break it off in there and leave it. Yep, it's good. And we'll tighten up the hose clamp. Now we'll just go ahead and start it up and check for any leaks. Left it running for about 5 minutes, turned it off, gone over it all, and there's not a sign of a leak, so that's a win. Now to go along and cable tie up all of these hoses that we ran. Now that there's no leaks or anything, don't have to pull it out, so we'll just go along, make it all neat, and then we'll be able to test it out next time we go to the beach, see if we overheat it again.